Hello there. Welcome to the calculation of our rent received. That is our rent income. So, according to our trial balance, you'd see that we were given a pre-adjustment trial balance as of 29th February 2016, meaning the financial year started the previous year, 1 March, 1 March 2015 to 29 February 2016. So this is our financial year. So according to the amount of rent income that we have in the trial balance, you'd see that we have our rent income on this part, which is 37,200. So 37,200 represents the actual rent income that was received. But then we want the rent income that applies to the recent financial period, which consists of 12 months, according to the matching principle. So we now go to the additional information to see what the additional information is saying about rent income. So if you come in this part, it's saying the rent increased by 200 rands on 1 December 2015. The tenant is paid the rent until end of March 2016. So this rent was supposed to be received until end of February, but it has been received to March 2016. Remember, our year is ending 29 February 2016. So the rent for March 2016 is also received. So we have got a month in advance that was received. So this is the income received in advance. So with that now, it represents that the rent for March we need to subtract it so that we remain with the rent that is for the current financial period only up to 29 February. So we need to find out the rent for March. So to find it out, we'll count the number of months that we have when the rent was increased. It was decreased 1 December, the whole of December, January, February, March, and April. So we have 4 months the rent was increased because the one for March also was received. So we are saying December, January, February, March, we are having 4 months, so we can just remove the extra that we have there because remember we have counted as December, January, February, and March. But again, the figure that we are given, 37,200, has got March inside, which means it's for 13 months. So we want to reduce it to 12 months. So to reduce it to 12 months, we have to remove the rent for March. So we don't know the rate of March after it had increased and before it had increased. So what we are going to do is we are going to remove the increased part that is inside 37,200. So it increased for 4 months, and the increase was 200. So the total increase, which is inside 37,200, is 200. Is 200 times 4. So if you multiply, you see that you're going to get 800. So 800 is the total increase for the 4 months inside 37,200. So we remove it from 37,200 so that we remain with even rents are received, which is the same for all the months for 13 months. So we are now going to say 37,200. Then we subtract our 800 to arrive at the total rent that was received, or the total rent income for 13 months that consists of the same amount. So let's just try to subtract there 37,200, and then you subtract your 800. So you're going to get your 36,400. So on that part, we have got 36,400. So 36,400 is the rent, which is the same amount for each and every month, since we have removed the increases. And we know that there are 13 months that are inside. So if you divide by 13, you get the rent income before the increase. So we divide by 13 and see what we get. We get 2,800. So 2,800 is the rent income before the increase per month. Then the one that we want to remove from 37,200 is for May. It's for March 2016, which was after the increase, because the increase was on 1 December. So which means March it had already increased. So to get now we add the increase now to get the rent for March, which is going to give us 3,000. So 3,000 is the rent for March that needs to be removed from 37,200. So the amount that is supposed to go to the income statement or statement of comprehensive income is going to be 37,200. Then we subtract the 3,000 for March, which is not supposed to be for the current financial period. So if you say 37,200 minus 3,000, you are going to get it as 34,200. So this is the amount that you should be in the column for the amount section. Then this calculation will be in brackets after you have entered rent income. So it's going to be rent income. Then you put your calculation in brackets. Then the final amount will be now in the columns that we are supposed to put our amount. So basically, this is what we've got according to the calculation of rent income when rents are increased during the year. Since in this case we have got rent income that was received in advance, which needs to be removed since it does not belong to the current period according to the matching principle. So thank you for listening, and we'll meet again in the next video.